You're watching a Swipe Valentine special coming up on the show. The game of love, real romance in a virtual world. I'm off on a date, not mine, theirs, as I discover travel dating apps. And we check out these lovebirds in our games review. Welcome to Swipe from London's sunny South Bank, a popular meeting place for visitors to the city and a very romantic spot too, which fits nicely with our romance-themed episode. The worlds of love and tech are getting ever closer. This week I had the somewhat awkward privilege of joining one couple from different countries who met up in London using a travel dating app. More on that to come, but first, Chris has been speaking to the couples who met while gaming.
You can come sit closer to me.
This might not look like everyone's idea of a date, but to Luis and Leisha, this in-game spot's as romantic as any real-world location. The couple met playing the online role-playing game World of Warcraft. They lived in different states but formed a bond by chatting in-game and doing quests together. Eventually, they agreed to meet up, and now they're married.
I feel like because we met online and all we had to go on was each other's personalities, like we could be a little more real with one another.
It was just the catalyst that brought us together. When she first got off the plane, I saw her, physical form. I was just super excited. I couldn't wait to wrap my arms around her and never let her go.
Their story's not unique. Many couples have met in the dungeon battlegrounds of games like this. And it's something the creators are keen to encourage.
Not only is it important for players to cooperate, to overcome challenges together, it's also part of what makes an online MMO magical. I mean, ultimately, these aren't the days where somebody would play a game alone for hours at a time. We're living in a time where when people go online, they play games, they do it to play with other people.
Other people have taken it a step further. This couple arranged an in-game wedding. They held it after their real ceremony for friends and family who couldn't make the journey. To some developers, these virtual nuptials are a money-making opportunity. Final Fantasy XIV, another popular online game, lets players pay for the privilege of forming what's called an eternal bond. They have to book the ceremony in advance, and it costs £23 for the premium package. There's even details on the game's website about dress codes should you want to attend as a guest. So these games are bringing people together, but experts warn they can also have adverse effects on relationships.
The problem when you have both members of the relationship, both members of the couple playing games, is that the game becomes the focus of that relationship. That's the common element, and other things become secondary or probably don't exist, which is rather unfortunate. And I think in that situation, the relationship is probably based on very fragile ground.
Online role-playing games have their pros and cons when it comes to relationships. But with subscribers well into the millions, there's no denying they provide a big dating pool of potential partners. Chris Creegan, Sky News.
Stay with us, still to come. I'll be heading up there with a very happy couple. You'll get that once you watch it. But first, in this week's tech news, Twitter shocked investors with its financial report revealing it's had no new users over an entire quarter. The site stalled on 320 million users, while rival Facebook has 1.6 billion. The news sent Twitter's stock falling hard and fast. Ski lovers trying to work on your technique, you might like this Kickstarter project. Carve is designed to fit into your boot, connect wirelessly to your phone, analyse your moves and speak to you, giving you feedback on your performance. The makers call it a digital ski coach. Staying with wearables, these gloves on Indiegogo link to your handset via Bluetooth so you can control music, take calls and switch between phone and camera using finger movements. We don't know how long it would take to pair up the device or get the hang of those hand gestures, but the idea is to make things more accessible if you live an active lifestyle. And Sonic is heading to the silver screen. The world's fastest hedgehog's first movie will be a mix of live action and animation, but he'll hardly be speeding to the cinema. Fans will have to wait until 2018 to see him in action. And by the way, he's just turned 25. Coming up, love conquers all in our games review. Now they say matters of the heart are never easy, but maybe tech can help with that. There's an app for everything these days, including holiday romances, it seems. For journalistic purposes this week, I gate-crashed a date with a couple from different countries who met up in London using a travel dating app.
Hello, I'm Erica. I'm 29 years old. I come from Italy, exactly from Sardinia, and today I'm in London on a date.
I'm Alamo. I'm 25. I'm in London from Barcelona, and I'm on a date.
And what a memorable date this is about to be, because what could be more romantic than having a camera crew and me joining in?
Sorry, I know three's a crowd, but I'm really curious how this app works. Talk me through how you met each other.
Right, so what the app does is you enter what location you're going to be in. So for us it was London. So we entered London and it matched us because we were going to be in London at the same time. And we had the same interests and we started...
Like I love art, drama, I love art, drama,
So you
travel.
saw each other's profiles?
Yeah.
And then who contacted who?
I sent the first message.
Okay. What
It
did
was
you
me,
think of his
yeah.
profile?
It was good, actually. It was like there were lots of
Just
interests
good.
matching,
Right.
which was good for me.
Travel dating apps that bring strangers from different countries together for a date in another country seem to be growing. These guys used the Tourbar app. Miss Travel is another. Here, users can offer to pay the full cost of whisking away their chosen partner. There's also Tripper, associated more with backpackers, created for making connections, although some use it for dating. But whether you're looking for friends or lovers, there's always going to be that question of safety looming.
This danger is even more apparent when you're travelling abroad. But I guess just turning the question back on you would be, would you prefer to meet a stranger at a bar travelling or have connected with them 6 weeks before, developed a rapport online, chatted with them, seen any sort of potential mutual friends, and worked out if they are relatively normal?
And don't forget about the other potential drawbacks of travel dating.
If you're flying to a destination in a far-off land and you're agreeing to meet someone there, you can't then really stand them up. It's very difficult. And once you get there, you might be lying on the beach with your cocktail, with gorgeous waiter or waitress serving you, and then you think, oh, I've got to go meet Nick at 4 o'clock. I don't want to go. Oh, is he? Oh, you meet him across the crowded room. You think, oh, actually, I don't really fancy him. And then you're stuck on your very expensive holiday from your hard-earned holiday time.
But let's say you hit it off and you love your new match. What then? You live in different countries.
It's going to be difficult.
It's going to be difficult, obviously.
Yeah.
But we can try to work out.
I think we can, yeah.
Well, it's fingers crossed from us. Gemma Morris, Sky News. And now, with our loved-up games review, here's our console cupid, Tom.
There's this bloke called Vincent, and he's got a girlfriend called Catherine with a K. But she starts talking about settling down and getting married, and he does a little bit of panicking, and at the same time meets another girl called Catherine with a C. And at this point, he also starts having nightmares. But these are really weird nightmares that involve moving and pushing blocks that form a massive staircase. Actually, the game is kind of a fairly unsubtle but quite fun take on relationships and commitment issues. And so during the day, you're essentially trying to balance the relationship Vincent's having with the two Catherines, and at night you're trying to tackle this increasingly fiendish puzzle. And that puzzle section is really, really good fun. Really tough as you get further into the game, but really, really enjoyable. Here we have Hatterful Boyfriend, which is, and I'm not joking, a game about dating pigeons. You're not actually a pigeon, you're a girl. You're in fact the only girl at a school otherwise populated entirely by pigeons. It is utterly bonkers, but it's also kind of brilliant. It's really nicely written. The characters, despite being birds, are actually really, really interesting. And you have to play it a whole bunch of times to uncover a sort of hidden depth to it. If you don't fancy paying for an overpriced meal in an overcrowded restaurant this Valentine's Day, I definitely recommend stay in with your loved one, play this game instead. It's called Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time, and it's absolutely brilliant. This is a galaxy that's always been powered by love. You've got these lovely, cute little characters, and at the heart of the galaxy is a heart-shaped reactor that brings in love and sends it out and powers the entire galaxy. But then the force of anti-love comes into the galaxy, literally breaks the heart. And at that point, the only hope left is this prototype spaceship that you and your Valentine, or just a friend if you like, can guide around the galaxy, fighting off the forces of anti-love and trying to put the heart-shaped reactor back together. It can honestly make or break relationships. This is a brilliant way to find out if you're totally in sync with your partner.
Well, I'm feeling a bit loved out now. Have a good Valentine's weekend. See you next time. Bye-bye.